Make sure my stuff's on. Yeah, it's okay.
Child would know. That's where Millie was so stupid. He was such a stupid guy. Millie. Okay, those generals should have all been fired. The people that were involved with Afghanistan should have all been fired. Jim would be right in this about how stupid he was, how bad he was. But you take your soldiers out last. And I had a big rally with child and his family about a year and a half ago. I called the child up. I said, "Do you mind if I borrow your child?" "Oh yes, please." And they came up. Kid's 5 years. I gave him a quick detail. I said, "We want to get out of this place. And we have this, and we have this, and we have the equipment." I gave him everything. I said, "Do you take your soldiers out first or last after everything's done?" "We take them out last, sir." A child would know that. We took those soldiers out first.
What was
And
your
we left,
plan?
and we left Bagram.
Well, not only that, we left
Bagram.
billions of dollars worth of equipment and military vehicles that they use
best-
for parades now.
The best equipment, yeah, to embarrass us, the best equipment in the world.
The
We left-
Taliban parade where they've got tanks rolling down the streets and Blackhawks flying. It's a crazy thing.
See, I don't know if he supports him or not. I guess he like. Well, it certainly sounds like he does, but he won't like verbally admit it either.
best equipment in the world behind.
I want ice cream, man. That's what I need.
Conversations with them. And from the time I had those conversations, because they were shooting us, they were shooting on me. They were shooting a lot with that gun.
I mean, it was pretty good. Again, I can't tell if he's supporting him or not. It's not clear to me. I mean, he might be. He probably. Like, I see Joe Rogan voting for Trump. I don't know how he wouldn't. If he doesn't vote for Trump, then I guess he's just not voting. There's just no way he'd support Kamala. I don't know for sure though. It's hard to say. Let me know if I need to mess with volume or anything. These pistachios are really good, though.
Not one soldier was left because they understood what was going to happen if that happened. I didn't have one soldier. And when I left, after having gotten more votes,
I need something to drink. I'm gonna have to go and get something in a minute.
much more votes than I got in 26 years. When I left, they started shooting the soldiers. More importantly, what they did is they did that whole thing with, leaving. They shouldn't have left. Number one, shouldn't have left.
Kinda hurt.
Massive base. It's got tremendous acreage around it. Tremendous. Very big. It was built many years ago. And part of the reason we wouldn't have taken it out is because it goes to China. 1 hour from where China missiles are nuclear weapons. They should have never left Bagram. Number one, they should have left from Bagram. They should have left Bryansk. They should have got, we have Americans that are still there. They should have taken all their equipment down. Everything, every plane, every screw should have been taken out, every tent. And I said that, that's when I realized that Millie was a dummy. I said, "We're leaving, and we're doing everything. Sir, it's cheaper to leave." Yeah, he said it's cheap. He said it's cheap. Sir,
Not more dangerous.
he just said cheap. I said, "All right, I did play. I have every tent. I went to goggles. They have night goggles. They have all this stuff that these guys don't have." He said, "Sir, it's cheaper to get out than leave." I said, "Sir, it's cheaper to leave a $150 million brand new airplane in there than it is to fly it out with a tank of jet fuel and put it in Pakistan or just fly it directly down. It's cheaper to." I said, "This guy's nuts." I'm telling you, he was so stupid. He was so unwise. He was like an unwise man. And there were a number. When I defeated ISIS with the greatest generals, I had a guy who was so ignorant. I flew to Iraq and I met the real generals, not these idiots. And we knocked out, I defeated 100% of the ISIS guys. He said it would take 5 years. I did.
You know, I defeated 100% of the ISIS guy.
Look
It only took a few weeks. Alright, I'm gonna get something to drink. Hang on a second. I need like a back. Do I have a? I do. Here we go. homies, we're back. Oh, welcome back to the stream. Baby. Got the ice cream. Oh, is there... I can turn that off, hang on. Properties. I turn that on when I'm singing stuff. There you go. Should be off now. And then I usually forget to turn it off when I do something like this. Ugh, like low volume. All G low now. All good now. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm retarded. Cap, you can't hear the podcast? Yeah, you can't. Hang on. I'm not sure how to fix that. Let me think. It's that's not the issue, bruh. I don't know. He's like, it's the biggest thing in the drill sergeant. It was massive and yeah. Okay. We'll see. I don't know why this isn't working. Maybe. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. Let me see if this works.
And the various guys, all central casting. Central casting.
Is that
I said,
working?
sir, would you like to rest? I said, I don't want to rest. I want to figure out what the hell are we doing with ISIS. I'm hearing we can't. It's going to take.
Can hear but quiet. Advanced audio properties. I can probably raise this a little bit. Let me raise it by like 5 decibels.
Years. No, sir, we can do it very quickly, sir. And anyway, we go into the room. We go in. I mean, Biden would have taken a nap for 4 days and then left without a
I
meeting.
didn't actually either one.
So we go into the room, and they have these guys. I say, how long can you do it? How long? We can do it in a couple of weeks, sir. I said, wait a minute. They told me 5 years. We can do it in, I don't know, he gave me a number, like in no time. I said, why haven't you done it? Because the orders came in from Washington, sir, and they would come here and tell us what to do. Don't you challenge us? We're not allowed to do that, sir. That's not the military way. They tell us what to do, and we have to respect them.
So do you think that it was incompetence why they didn't go after ISIS?
I think it's a bad system. You know, when Mattis goes there or when Milley goes there, who's stupid, and they tell these guys that are actually smart
Like
what
it's
to
probably a
do.
good level.
And the guys that
Something
are
like that.
smart are saying, we don't like what they're doing, but they're not allowed to sort of
right.
counteract.
You want me
Plus,
to turn
the
it
guys
down
that
or
went
no?
there are arrogant.
Yeah, I raised it by
they're
16
arrogant
decibels.
Fools. They're like stupid fools.
Can't hear you now.
The way
Alright, fine, I'll turn it down. It's so much louder. I did raise it by like 16 decibels. Let me put it at like 8. I'm gonna like have it.
way they pulled out of,
Is that
the way
okay?
they, as an example, the way they pulled
Yeah, I
out
know.
of Afghanistan.
But
with
you said it was
people
quiet,
falling
so
off the
I
planes.
believed
Yeah,
you.
it's a
It
disgrace.
was so. It was worse than Vietnam with the helicopters falling. It was so bad. There was no reason for it. Anyway, so we knocked them out.
Dang it! I just lost a bunch of ice
I mean,
cream.
we have great military. We have great people, but not the television guys.
How's
And I
hanging out with
rebuilt
you and
the
your friends been?
military, and then they gave a chunk of it. Now, I have to tell as much as it is, it's a tiny little piece. Believe it or not. We have an.
Also, I love how
I
your first
rebuilt the
guest on my
military. I
game.
rebuilt
Yeah,
our
me too.
nuclear.
I love how
And
your
in a way,
first
I
guest
hated
on
to
my
rebuild
game
it,
was
but I got to realize
men
powerful
or something
that
like that,
nuclear is,
and then it
you
was
know.
nasty
One
girls.
bomb,
It's
Israel
hilarious.
is gone, but forget.
Miserable.
One bomb could take out the entire East Coast. It's so bad. And
That's
I watch
crazy.
these poor fools talking about our oceans will rise 1/8 of an inch over the next
I don't know.
500 years. I mean, we have people.
I guess you
we
just
have
really
countries.
hate-
Right now, you have 5 countries,
Um,
and don't underestimate.
he looks more
North-
orange on the stream for some reason.
North. If you take a look at North
I
Korea,
think you hate people more than
yeah,
I do.
I was there. I mean, I was with Kim Jong. I
Dang
had
it,
a
I
great.
can't.
I got along great with him. You know, the press says he got along great. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. Obama thought we were going to go to war with North Korea. When I met with Obama just prior to the takeover, you meet, you have a sort of a
Saw the what?
ceremonial meeting. But it lasted
Oh.
a long time, a lot longer than was.
Surely you
supposed
shouldn't
to.
know what
So I
that
said,
meant, though.
What's the biggest problem? He said North Korea. By the time I finished, we had no problem with North Korea. We were really, it was a little tough at the beginning. Remember?
I didn't know what it meant.
Mhm.
He said, I have a red button on my desk. I said, I have a red button also, but mine's bigger than yours and mine works.
I liked how you called them little.
Bro,
rock-
what in the world is he talking about? I don't know what he was talking about anymore. This podcast started out with Joe Rogan being like, I want to know specifically about what it was like the day you first entered office. And then Trump kept going off on these tangents. He's like, no, I want to specifically know what it was like on that day. And then he like started talking about it whenever. And he's like, I'm sorry, I just like going on tangents and whatever. Trump was. And it was like actually kind of interesting, whatever. And then we're an hour and 39 minutes in, and I guess Joe Rogan is like stoned at this point because all I'm hearing is random stuff about red buttons, and like I just have no clue what he's talking about at this point.
Rocket Man.
I said, yeah, Little Rocket. I said, Little
My day's
Rocket
been
Man,
fine.
you're gonna burn in hell, and it was a
My
rough.
arm really hurts from
Yeah.
throwing
Oh,
football.
so rough that people were worried. This is crazy.
Like it
And then
really.
One day,
I really
got a
probably
call.
should
Sort
stop.
of like a fight. I got a call.
Or figure out
You know,
why it
you
hurts
see
so hard.
they're pounding. Then all of a sudden, but I got a call, and it was from him. Meaning
It's.
his
I'm
people.
not throwing it
They
correctly.
wanted to
I'm
meet.
throwing it with way too
They
much
wouldn't meet
arm and not
Obama.
enough.
He tried
lower
to meet,
body.
They wouldn't even talk to him about it. And I think he expected.
And I'm
to
also
go.
throwing it a
I actually
lot.
do. I believe he expected to go. And we checked their nuclear stockpile.
I
It
need to
is
chill out.
substantial. I mean, that's. I said, "Do you do anything?" I got to know him very well. I got to know him better than anybody. And I said, "Do you ever do anything else? Why don't you go take it easy and relax?
Oh,
Go to
I
the
thought you were
beach.
talking about Trump's
Get
emotes.
beautiful beach.
I don't know.
Nice beachfront property. Kiddingly.
I
said,
wanted to
"You're
play
always
football, too."
building nuclear. Just relax. You don't have to do it. Let's build some condos on your shoreline. They actually have gorgeous stuff." And he said, "I just have to do it because I need it for my safety," etc. I got to know him very well. We had no problem with him. If you have a smart problem, if you have really the right president, a smart president, you're not going to have a problem. And I say it to people. We have a bigger problem, in my opinion, with the enemy from within. And it drives them crazy when I use that term. But we have an enemy from within. We have people that are really bad people that I really think want to make this
Dang it.
country unsuccessful.
How did
When you look at what's happening at our
on my
border, Joe,
keyboard?
when you have people coming in that, when other countries are allowed to empty their prisons into our country with
That's not good.
murderers, we had
is a new keyboard.
13,099 murderers
How did I fling ice
dropped
cream
in our
there?
country over the last 3 years.
That's crazy. That's
And
actually nuts.
15,000 rapists convicted.
Rapists,
Yeah.
drug dealers, drug lords.
And that's just the ones that
Really
are
bad
terrorists,
people. They're awful people.
people
Really
from
bad.
mental institutions.
Really bad people.
Hundreds,
Strategy
Joe,
is-
hundreds of thousands of major criminals, tougher and worse than anybody we have. These
Well, and
are
we're seeing the consequences of it in San Antonio. They've taken over
All
apartment buildings. In Aurora, Colorado, they've taken
That's
over
right.
apartment buildings. These Venezuelan gangs.
just the beginning.
What do you think the strategy is? One of the things that they've said is that you stopped a bill from being passed. But didn't that bill also include amnesty for the people that are already here?
Joe, this is years after the fact. The damage
Joe.
was already done.
But what was the bill?
Well,
and
the
what
bill
was
was
the
nothing.
problems
It
with the
allowed
bill?
2 million people in. They were going to get amnesty. It was a horrible bill. It didn't protect us at all.
But we should just tell people what the strategy is. So one of the things
Well,
that's
I'll
been
tell you what
very
their strategy is.
One of the things that's been very clear is that they've moved a large percentage of these migrants that are coming across the border illegally. They've moved them to swing states. Like this is what's going on with Springfield, Ohio, right?
They're
I
in
think-
swing states. Well, that's not a swing state. I'm going to win Ohio by a lot, so that's not a swing. But it's called Springfield, Ohio, to be exact. And
Yeah.
Springfield, Ohio.
I guess Joe Rogan's on his side. I can't see Joe Rogan voting for
52,000
Kamala, but he also
people
won't say that he's
that
voting for
just
Trump.
had
So
32,000
that's what I was saying earlier.
migrants that don't speak the language dropped into their community. You can't get into a hospital. You can't get into a school. It's gone from a beautiful little place to a horror show.
What's up?
And the mayor is a nice guy. And the mayor says,
Welcome to the stream, Jake.
we're looking for interpreters.
I'm listening to Trump on Rogan.
You've got to remove them and bring them back to their country. Mostly Haitians in this case. But they speak no language. They speak no
English, I mean.
Yeah,
In fact,
I guess you
even
could
the
call him
language
senator.
they do speak, I
Kind
mean,
of.
they can't get interpreters. They can't do anything. And the mayor's trying to be politically correct. They're all trying to be. In Aurora, Colorado, you have the worst, probably the worst gang. MS-13 might even be, those two are the worst gangs. These are Venezuela gangs. They have taken over apartment complexes, and they're going to want to take over the whole thing. And you have a weak governor, pathetic governor, who's a radical left.
I don't have 3 concurrent
He
viewers,
doesn't
just
know
the
what
other
hell to
person.
do. But you have it in many other
But
communities.
Cooper is
but they don't
also
like to talk
watching
about
me
it because
and
it's,
not
it's
talking.
bad for the community to talk about it. These people have been let in here by this imbecile. And I mean it. She's a low IQ person. Low IQ.
Right, but it's obviously not just her.
He's talked about her
there's
being
a
low IQ
strategy
at
that's
least 4
involved
times.
in letting
It's
these
She was
people
in
in.
charge of the border.
Well,
And
she's in charge of the border, but they utilize that app. The app that used to be
sure.
used. It used to be used, I think, essentially, wasn't it for shipping? Wasn't it when people were in this country?
It was used for shipping, and now it's used to deal with the cartels. The cartel, heads of the cartel, rich people, by the way, these are loaded. These people have so much money. They would call up, think of this, they call up the app, and the app tells them where they should take their load of illegal migrants from the Congo. We have a lot from the Congo, prisons in the Congo. I made a little bit of a sarcastic joke. A man named Dana White, who you love, who I love. I assume you love him.
Love that dude.
I think he's in a class by him.
He's probably the reason why you're here.
I don't know, maybe.
Wait,
He is
wait,
the
wait.
greatest guy.
Roll that back.
I don't know. Class by him.
He's probably the reason why you're here.
Did you see how long he held that?
a man named Dana White, who you love, who I love. I assume you love him.
Love that dude.
I think he's in a class by him.
Look,
He's
Rogan-
probably the reason
Rogan talks here.
why you're here.
That's at least like 2 or 3 seconds of just.
I don't know, maybe.
He's one of the
I don't know.
He's
Maybe
the greatest guy.
I love
You know,
he's
I
the
always
greatest
say,
guy.
Nobody's indispensable. Everybody can be replaced. Maybe you can't be. You might not be. But Dana White, truly, I don't think. The things he sold it for $4 billion. I said, what the hell? Who the hell is going to pay $4 billion? And they made like a great deal. I mean,
It's worth a
because
lot
of
more
him.
than that now.
Take him
Yeah.
out. I think it's a whole different.
No,
ballgame,
he's
but,
the best
and
fight
he's
promoter
also
of
the
all time.
greatest guy. He spoke at the whole
In your
thing
chat.
with,
What
I'd
chat?
just been shot, and he got up and he spoke so better than anybody. I mean, who would be better to introduce you? I asked of all the people, and I know the biggest people in the world.
Go
but
rob
they all
stuff
would
from
love to do
Amelia's
that.
fridge.
I said, Dana, would you do it? It was interesting.
Freddie,
He
can you
was away.
believe this guy's at a girl's house
And
this
he
late
said
at
to the
night?
people that, one of my guys called, said, I won't be able to do it. I just left with my wife and family. I said, he said, no, yeah. I was a little surprised.
You can
even
probably
though I
rob
knew he
stuff
was
from
very
your
far
fridge.
away. He was in some place, and he deserved it with his family, the whole thing. And then I said, all right, and so we're looking who we're going to get. And all of a sudden she comes in. Sir Dana White just said he's going to do
Brother
it.
Bear,
and
thanks
he's
for
coming
the
back in
$2
tonight. He's
super
taking
chat.
over. The guy
Sorry,
is
I'm
just
just
an
trying to
incredible
get
guy.
over there.
And he's like a tough champion, but loyal. Yeah, he's got to be one of your favorite people. He's one of my
I
favorite
love him
people.
to death. I've
Yeah.
been friends with him for 23 years. I love him.
So
to death.
would you have, because what you're doing here is incredible. I mean, everybody tells me, all I noticed today, I'm going, you know, you're on Joe Rogan today. People are telling me, like I say, how the hell do you know that? But it's sort of, what you've done here is amazing. Where would you be if
Honestly,
you didn't
kinda
do the
regret
UFC
eating that
stuff? Would you have this
ice cream
show,
now.
do you think, or
Yeah, I
not?
would still be doing it for sure. Yeah.
Would
I
it
mean,
be
I was
at the
doing it
same? Would it be at the same level?
I don't know.
But you would have.
It's,
the
it's
show.
hard to know. I think you know
I
one of
actually
the things
really
that
regret eating that
works
ice
for this
cream. I feel
show, I
kinda
guess, is
yucky
that
now.
I'm involved in so many different
It's
things.
only 118.
You
I
know,
think you're
stand-up
better.
comedy, UFC, and all the interests that I have that lead to the podcast.
Will you always want to do your? First of all, you love UFC.
I love it. Yeah.
You love the fights. I mean, I watch
yeah.
you. You are loving it. They could pay you nothing. You'd be very.
They didn't pay me anything for the first like 13 shows. I did it for free because they were hemorrhaging money, and I became friends with Dana. And
I'll be right back, guys. Gotta put the ice cream up. Why is Jill texting? Oh, because she's probably looking at my stream. That's crazy. All right, here we go. Back to Joe Rogan. I'm helping with some kids. Okay. No, Jake, let me tell you the story. There's like a hayride. Okay, he said that. There's like a hayride, and Owen's having to roleplay as like a Scooby-Doo character because Amelia asked him to, and like they've got a few other people there. That's why he's like at her house. But this guy thought that Shaggy was the dog. Wait, is Jake gone? There's only one concurrent viewer. Okay, actually, I don't know if there's one or two. It's fine. Yeah, no. He seriously thought that Shaggy was the dog, and he was like asking me about that. He thought he was about to be role playing as the dog.
my position was, you're going to give me the best seat
That's
in the
crazy.
house. I get to sit cage side for the fights. Like, I'll do it, and I wanted to help. I was like, I think these are the guys that we had always hoped for.
Well,
In the
he's an
early days of
amazing
the
guy.
sport, I started working for the company in 1997. I was before the UFC was purchased by Zuffa, which Dana
Oh,
worked
wow,
for.
wow.
So I was a part of the previous owners. And I only did it for a couple of years. It was just too much, and I was losing money. And it was banned from cable because of Budweiser and John McCain, and you could only get it on
Right.
DirecTV. And so
and then I came along and I gave him the
you
sites.
did, and he loves
And
you
he
for
never
that.
forgot it.
He loves you for that. He talks
You know,
about
and,
it all
and
the time.
just to interrupt
Yeah,
you
that's
for one
clear,
second.
Owen.
They couldn't get a site because it was too dangerous
Right.
and everybody was against it and they couldn't get licensed. And I gave him the first 2 or 3 sites.
Yep.
And they were great. And by the way, I went to the first fight.
No, honestly, no. This person, Jill, was texting and saying, talking about how she was like doom scrolling YouTube. Didn't expect to see me here, and I should go to sleep. She went to bed at like 10:30 the other day because we were doing circuits, or no, maybe like 9. And she was talking about how late that was and how that was a normal time to go to bed. How can you go to bed at 10 and then go to bed at 1:30? Actually, you know what? Jake goes to bed at like 4 and then 6 p.m. So
I said I never saw anything
I like to
this.
be consistent with
Crazy.
about
It
2
was
a.m.
so good. Take the best fight you've ever seen. It was like
Yeah.
that fight, right? It was so good that I gave it to him again, and all of a sudden it caught on. But you know, when I wasn't in vogue, you know, I've had time. You probably never had a time, but I had times when I wasn't exactly in vogue. Dana, they called him. He said, he's the greatest guy. There's nobody like. He said, I'll never say anything bad about that guy because when I needed, because they were having a hard time at the beginning. They almost pulled the plug a couple of times, right?
Jake, let
He
me
said
show you
he
something.
stood up and he gave us stuff that nobody else gave us, and nobody wanted anything to do. And he said, I will never. And there was a time where it would have been very
Can you see
popular
this
for him
or
to
no?
say bad stuff about me.
I don't think you
He
can.
said the greatest stuff about me. He said, "You're going to try and get me to say bad stuff
let me see
about
what I-
Trump. I'm never doing it."
No,
So
he's a very,
he's
very,
an
very
unusual
loyal guy.
Yeah,
Very
he's a-
unusual guy.
He's
And
a fantastic
a
guy.
perfect guy to be at the helm of something so controversial
Yeah.
as the UFC.
Less controversial now.
Well, now it's huge. Yeah. Well, this
I was
was
trying to
always
figure out how the
thing
rhythm
that I hoped did
for the
it.
stuff we're
I
supposed to
always
play
knew
goes.
It was unbelievably entertaining, but I just didn't know if maybe I was
So I was
crazy.
sitting in here messing
Maybe I
around with it.
loved it because I've had this long history.
I was
of being
surprised,
involved in
guys.
martial arts, and maybe like other people who just think it's too violent. But
Can boxing
rid of
make it?
yeah, boxing's still a great sport.
I got rid of it,
love
chill out.
boxing.
But it seems to be
Yeah.
so
right, guys.
unimportant now by comparison to UFC, don't you think?
I think, well, you know, Dana is working with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They're going
About
to
bringing
start
some
promoting
fights, yeah.
boxing now, and with Dana at the helm of it, I think boxing could return because
Kitty.
the thing is, they want to make fights that other people, maybe promoters don't want to make because they want to protect their fighter. Controversial fights.
Is audio
It's
fine?
dangerous. Like you don't know, this guy could lose. And so the Saudis, they're smart. They just offer a tremendous amount of money, and they're putting together fights that no one else can put together. They're doing that in boxing.
If Dana's involved, he'll
Little cat.
probably make it good. You
He'll
know
make
the
it good.
amazing thing though,
He's
in
really bored. He
fighting,
wants to go outside.
no UFC fighter they say has ever died, and it looks
No.
to me much more violent than boxing.
It's like hitting my mic.
Many
It's
boxers have
tapping out.
died. Isn't it interesting? And
It-
Dana tells me because they take so many shots to the face.
Yes, and there's also no other options to preserve yourself, to protect yourself. So if you get hit in a UFC fight, you can clinch. You can try to take the fight to the ground. You get
Yes,
options.
yeah.
Also, you don't get allowed to get knocked down and then get back up.
can't
When you
decide
get
if he
knocked
wants to
down,
stay
you're
up here or not.
concussed. And generally, if a guy's really hurt, they can be finished on the ground and the fight's over. If it's boxing, you have 10 seconds to get up. You
Good
get
people.
up, your head kind of clears, but
Right,
you're
right.
still in
I
real
see
bad
too.
trouble, and then you can kind of run away and survive until the bell rings.
Yeah.
They're only 3-minute rounds, and then you start again. So you're getting
Yeah.
repeated punishment to the head.
Yeah.
And then there's also the issue of guys weight cutting, which is a problem with the UFC as well. But weight cutting in boxing has led to, if you look at deaths in boxing, there's very few of them in the heavyweight division. Most of the deaths in boxing are the lighter weight divisions
Wow,
because when guys
that's
dehydrate themselves to lose weight, to make weight, their brain is the last thing that gets rehydrated. Like, it's very difficult to completely hydrate your brain quickly, and you only have 24 hours between the weigh-in and
my
the
phone
fight. And it used to
autocorrects
be the weigh-in
Rogan
was
to
the day of
Rohan.
the fight. Like when Boom Boom Mancini had a
Right.
fight with Daku Kim and
Right.
killed him in the ring, which is
Right.
one of the last ones on television that we've seen.
That's right.
That was a crazy event for people and heartbreaking, and it led to a bunch of different changes. And one of them is day before weigh-ins to allow people to rehydrate better, and the other one is they dropped it from 15 rounds down to 12.
Which, look, they should do that. I'm not the.
What? We're looking at the cat, bro.
Fighter, so, but those 15-round fights were unbelievable.
They were unbelievable.
They were
Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Yeah, you
In
go back
terms
to the
of-
golden
Cat
age.
cam.
Yeah, in terms of entertainment,
Oh yeah.
those were the championship rounds. Those were the greatest fights
Those
ever.
last 3 rounds were crazy.
That was
I mean,
brutal.
it's such a war of attrition. A lot of people think even like a 5-round UFC fight. The UFC is 5-minute rounds. It's so much
Yeah,
energy you're
little
burning
kitty
out.
in
And
here.
those last couple of rounds, those 5-round
so
fights,
sweet.
the 4th and the 5th round,
He's actually really
unbelievably
being some
brutal.
guy.
Who's
He's
the
being
greatest
sweet right
UFC
now,
fighter?
so-
Are you allowed to say, in your opinion? It's tough for you to say because you do this, but who do you think is the greatest of the fighters?
Such a
There's
kitty.
there's a lot of arguments for who's the greatest of all time. John Jones, most people would say is the greatest of all
I'm
time.
good
Never
on it.
lost. There's certainly a really good argument for that. There's another argument for George St. Pierre. I always leave in B.J. Penn in his prime, Anderson Silva in his prime. Mighty Mouse. People forget about Mighty Mouse because unfortunately he's a smaller guy. He's 125 pounds, flyweight champion.
Dude, I don't know
He's
why they're
one of the
talking about this
greatest
right now.
expressions
Alright,
of
y'all
mixed
vote on
martial arts
something
I've
else for
ever
me to
seen. I
do.
think to this day.
Y'all want
Khabib.
like a tier list? Y'all
Khabib's
want like a
fantastic.
video
But if
game?
you looked at like
What do you wanna see?
accomplishments in terms of championship fights, Khabib retired 29.
I'm sick of
but
listening
he
to
didn't
this.
have as
And
many
They stopped
probably
talking
never
about
lost
interesting
rounds.
things.
They say
He might have lost to Gleison Tebow. He might have lost to him.
around.
Might have lost a round, and that was a controversial fight where people think that Gleison Tebow could have even got the decision in that fight.
Did you just say high school girls tier list? What does that even mean?
I'd have to go back and watch it again to make a decision, but
They're great athletes. So.
oh,
That's trying
the
to get
best
me banned
athletes
from
in
the
world.
platform.
And the most dangerous sport in terms of like I always call it high level problem solving with dire physical consequences.
Yeah, it's just brutal.
That's what fighting is.
You know, I'll never forget. So there was a fighter named James Tony.
Oh yeah, I love
And
James
You want me
Tony.
to-
He
Lights out.
fought at
Tier list people, high school girls, like the people from our grade who are not in high school anymore. That's a crazy thing to ask for on a stream on YouTube. That's insane. I don't think that's something
as a very
I'm
light
gonna do on
fighter,
a
and he ended
live
up as
stream
a
on
heavyweight.
YouTube.
This
Uh-huh.
guy went through everything. He was
Yeah.
almost like a
I
lightweight.
don't think so.
He went from middleweight all the way up to
Yeah.
heavyweight. Yeah,
And I've
Peter
never
Vander
seen it.
Holyfield is a heavyweight.
And he was a real fighter.
Oh yeah.
I
So
don't think
James
that's
Tony,
appropriate.
and I think it was St. George
George St. Pierre?
St. Pierre. I think it was him. Who did he fight? James Tony.
No,
It's
James
live,
Tony fought
bruh.
He fought a UFC fighter.
Yeah, Randy
who was-
Couture fought James Tony.
I'm not posting the
Was it
VOD
that was
anyway.
like
The
an
VOD
easy
has
fight?
been me
That was a very easy
looking at Trump eating ice cream and petting my cat.
Right, Randy Couture just took him down and
It was the
strangled him.
most, and he's half the size, and he just once he got to the ankles, in fact, the
Yeah.
announcer said it's over.
Yeah, he
and he
ankle
put him to
picked him,
sleep.
took him down, mounted him, strangled him. It was
And
pretty
James,
quick.
he was, but he was talking big because he was much bigger. He was a pretty
I
big
think
guy.
James just wanted
Hey,
to make
vote for
some
something
money
else.
in
You
that
think
fight.
so?
Yeah.
But I never forgot it.
I don't think he knew what
it
he
was
doing.
over very quickly, and
Yeah.
he was lying sleeping
gonna
on the
play,
mat,
Jake?
and he was talking. You know, he was doing the Muhammad Ali stuff, but it didn't work out. But I remember.
He sold the fight.
Yeah, that was Couture probably.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
Yeah.
Couture. George never fought a boxer in an MMA fight. If he did, he would kill them.
Was he one of the greatest?
Yes, unquestionably. That's the argument. There's like a handful of guys you can make the argument is the greatest of all time. People forget about Anderson Silva in his prime. He was
I
unstoppable.
don't know if I want to play a game.
But
I need to
that's
be
the
honest.
thing
I need
is,
to
Silva
and then
get
there's
that
Fedor
soon.
Emelianenko, who fought in
Yeah,
Pride.
yeah.
In his prime, he was unstoppable.
I would do a tier list. I just don't want to
We
do
have a
like
couple now that
the
are really good.
things that are
Oh,
being
we've got so
suggested to
many
me
now.
because they're
Alex
like
Pereira.
Correct.
There's an argument
problematic.
that he's the
He's
top
looking.
pound for pound fighter in
He's
the world
looking
right
very
now.
good. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But it's like fighters can only compete at that level for so many years. And so, in my opinion, you have to judge them at their very peak. You can't judge them when they're hanging on and still fighting. You can't judge them when they're coming up. You got to judge them in that championship
I don't
peak.
know that many. to be
In that
honest with you.
championship peak, there's a handful of guys that you would consider at the very top.
If they stopped a little bit sooner,
Yeah.
some of them would have had. You know, I mean, there are a couple of that you just mentioned without mentioning names. If they
Mhm.
stopped, they had the perfect. They were unbelievable, and then at a certain age, they start getting knocked out. Right?
Yes, it's unfortunate, but the thing is that same belief in themselves that lets them become a champion.
I can do Georgia Tech players, but I don't think anybody wants to see that. Most of them are going to be in the D tier. I'm not even going to lie to you. I got recommended this earlier. How would I tier list Ocarina of Time? That's not the category. I just think it's weird that people make videos like this. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Yeah, I would. I don't know if I know how to load up Ocarina anymore. I'll try. I'll leave this up. Or this song up while I try to figure it out. Special. Yeah, actually, I don't know if I still have the launcher. I guess it's this. I kind of do, but it's gonna be too hard. Gave it away. Is the recommended still cooked? Let's check. Let's see. It is cooked, but it's not like it was before. There's only like one Ryan Gosling video on the front page. That's my cat. My cat be snoring loud. and the fire in his heart. Keep me your heart. Ah, dude, I am itchy. I probably should shave, but I don't really want to. I'm so itchy though. It gets better. I've been itchy for a day or two already, bro. How do I have 4 concurrent viewers? Surely that's not like actually right now. I don't know. Ow, dude, my cat is like digging in. This little goober absolutely digging into my knees right now. Ow, 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 ow. Bro's trying to readjust. I don't mind that you're here, but I mind when you hurt me. Face on a lover and a fire in a heart. A man undercover. That's crazy. White girl music mix. That's a crazy thing to be recommended. Any good games to play? Let me see. Doesn't really look like it. Update queued for the finals. Oh boy, it's 7 gigs. That looks really fun. Face on a lover and a fire in his heart. I just don't know if I get Mios. I could play Buckshot Roulette. That's the game that they were all playing. This game's awful. Kind of scary, to be honest with you. Face on a lover and a... You know what we could do? I could do a quick Pirates Cove run and then in the stream because I do need to go to sleep. TBH honest. I'll do game capture. And let's go 1 round of Gelvit. Man, that's itchy. I guess we have to go Pirates Cove. Is this okay, it does. I wasn't sure if it's actually capturing. Dang, is that an instant reset, guys? I think it is. Alright, let's lock in. I know the camera's gone. I don't care though. I'm too lazy to fix that. No, dude. That's not an instant reset though. You can take 2 on this hole. It's allowed. I think they've changed some of the angles for this map though, which is kind of cringe. I used to be good at this one back in the day. I always struggle to like get around this part. So I usually just take 2 in this one. You can technically make that up later in other holes. Ain't no way it doesn't go in right there. That is criminal. Okay, that was almost an instant reset. I'm playing 1 round, Jake. Chill out. Okay, I went way over. Okay, that's probably better. Dang, dude. That's cruel. That's crazy. They've changed some of the angles, I'm telling you. Alright, I need to make up some room on this hole. We're gonna do a crazy shot here. Okay, I went a little too heavy on it. They've really changed the way the DPS on this works. DPS, the mouse speed thing. I don't really know. Do I go to bed now? I gotta finish this. Man, they've changed the angles though. I think my cat's bringing in the allergens, dude. He honestly probably is. I mean, he's outside and all that pollen and crap. As long as we keep it like a bit under par, then I'll take it, even though it's not great. Come on, chip it over. Oh, and have you been practicing saying things in your Shaggy voice for your roleplay? No way it didn't go into the cannon. Whatever. Okay, that's crazy. No way that went over. What have they done to this map? Actually, bro, okay. I'm quitting. You know what? Alt F4. That's ridiculous. I will not play if they've changed the game this much. That is garbage. All right, Kitty, it's time to go. It's time to exit. Please, kindly, remove yourself from my legs. That hurt really bad. Okay. Guys, that was a lot of fun. I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. I will see the boys at a different... peace out. That's, yep. All right, end stream.